Akio listeners, let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Join me on X or Twitter and Instagram for regular updates. You can also find the pod on your normal podcasting service that you're listening to now, or also restreamed on YouTube at Let's Learn Sumo. Also do a few video episodes on YouTube, a couple of documentary style videos here and there. Check out a few of the older episodes that are there now, including my Fight of the Year episode with video replays of the best fights of 2024. So here we are, day 2 of the January Basho, the Hatsu Basho. Pressure is on. Some of the Rikishi have some real pressure on them, and there's a lot at stake for this Basho for some of them, and a couple of them failed today. Remember, Hoshoryu and Kokugikan, they are in the running for a Yokozuna promotion, but they need consistent wins and likely a Yusho win to make it a certainty. Hoshoryu certainly needs a Yusho, but Kokugikan, he can't afford too many losses if he wants that white rope belt Yokozuna promotion. So let's look at tonight's action, starting with the Yokozuna Terunofuji, who faced a difficult opponent in Takanosho at Megashira 1. If anyone can make life hard, it is a Takanosho. What we saw tonight, however, was Yokozuna persistence. Pretty big touchy eyes. Takanosho went for the Nodowa and then a right body grip to push Terunofuji back. Terunofuji pulled Takanosho around, got him back to the bales. Takanosho was in a bit of trouble there, but he had a good foot position on the bales. He recovered and pulled back into the ring. But Takanosho, look, he had the upper body grip on Terunofuji. Terunofuji had a bit of a shallow right body grip. Takanosho, he tried to break the Yokozuna's hand from his body as Terunofuji got himself a left outside belt grip. So Takanosho, look, he pulled around, but it really looked like the Yokozuna had pretty good control most of the way through the match. He used the belt grip to pull Takanosho through, but Takanosho, he was still up, but Terunofuji pulled him around, forced him back to the bales. Takanosho resisted for a moment. Terunofuji pushed him over Yorakiri. Look, a bit of a hard-fought win there. Made hard work of it, but in the end, it really didn't look like Takanosho was going to win it. He did give a bit of a good fight. That gets a Yorakiri frontal force-out win for the Yokozuna. Have him on 1-1. Winless for Takanosho, and 2 pretty hard fights to start his week. Kokugikan, he faced the dangerous Abe, who sits at Komusubi this tournament. He's up from Megashira 3 and on a charge. The big touchy eye by Abe, and of course, what does he do? He goes straight for the Nodowa thrust on Kokugikan. More thrusting, and he gets Kokugikan just a little bit upright, his center of gravity up a little bit, up a bit vulnerable, and the next hit right in Kokugikan's chest. Abe also has a big hold and thrusts Ozekis back and over the bales for a Tsukidashi thrust out win. Kokugikan's Yusho and Yokozuna run is dented with this loss. He won't want too many more. It really comes down to how Hoshoryu does tonight versus Tobizaru. Now, I know it's early to be talking about Yokozuna chances in this field. However, you cannot afford to drop any matches early. Hoshoryu, he faced the Ozeki wrecker, Tobizaru, the flying monkey. Last time they met in September, it was a bit of a strange match. Tobizaru waited for Hoshoryu in September, kept him at that arm's length position. Hoshoryu lost a bit of patience, charged in, and then got Hiki Itoshi to pull down. Not this time, a super aggressive and motivated Hoshoryu. He charged like a raging bull at Tobizaru. The monkey had absolutely nothing as Hoshoryu got hold of his belt with an outside right, inside left, and pretty much tackled him, a big rugby tackle, almost threw Tobizaru over and across the bales. It was a pretty dominant win, and dare I say, very Yokozuna-style dominant win. Yori Tayoshi frontal force down is the call, and at 2 wins, this puts Kokugikan under pressure with his first loss. Onosato, he demonstrated his extra power, a little bit of patience, certainly improved tactics. Kirishima, he faced tonight, got a good touchy eye. Kirishima got himself an outside belt grip and pulled Onosato around. He lost the belt, tried a leg trip, At the same time, he tried a bit of a Nodawa, but he didn't quite make that come off. Onosato then went to work on Kirishima. As Kirishima went backwards in defense, Onosato got a pretty vicious slap on Kirishima. Just as Kirishima was going backwards in defense, Onosato, who was too strong, Oshidashi'd Kirishima back and over the bales. It just seemed that Kirishima kind of ran out of options as Onosato put him under pressure. Oshidashi there, 1-1 for Onosato, winless for Kirishima. A bit of an early tachiai by Goniyama. Was it a mata? Look, it probably was. It got Wakamoto Haru off balance early, got him back and against the bales. He was trying to defend on his toes, pressed forward too hard off the bales. Goniyama just rolled and thrusted Wakamoto Haru down. Suki Itoshi thrust down. Look, was it too early? Probably, but these things happen. 1-1 apiece for that pair. Daisho, he's 2-0 as well after he utterly dominated Atami Fuji. 3 big hits and thrusts, and poor old Atami Fuji just had nothing there. Oho faced Wakataka Kage with some fairly strong Oshizumo and pressure. Big touchy eye as Oho, he's a big strong man. He gets hold of Wakataka Kage's arm, yanked him around. Wakataka Kage was pretty much off balance at that point, stood up a little bit. Oho went full Oshizumo, pushing and keeping up the pressure as Wakataka Kage, he just couldn't get back to a position of stability, was trying to move laterally, cross the bales, thrust it over. Oshidashi frontal push out, 1-1 for Wakataka Kage, 2-0 for Oho. Big aggression for Hiradumi tonight over Shodai Hiradumi. He went hard at the tachiai, got a right inside body, left front belt grip, which became an outside belt left belt grip. Look, they tussled hard fairly well. Hiradumi, he kept using his body twisting motion to try and destabilize Shodai. Got Shodai back to the bales. Shodai almost turned Hiradumi over. Some pretty good balance there, but he recovered. Hiradumi, he stayed aggressive, controlled Shodai back to the bales, and Yorakiri. It's clear that Hiradumi is quite unhappy about his performance in November, and he wants back to Sanyaku, I expect, because that was quite the aggressive fight from Hiradumi. Ura, he lost to Chiyoshima. Look, he's really a victim of his own low Greco-Roman position there, as Chiyoshima got a belt hold and kind of used it to force Ura down at the end of the match. A Watanabe throw, but it's really more of a help down with the belt in that one. Takayasu, he got a Hataki Komi win over Endo. Good win there. Good win for Ichi Yamamoto over the veteran and 3-time Yusho winner Mitakayumi. Mitakayumi put up a pretty good fight after he was forced to the bales and recovered, but Ichi got onto the belt and helped him back and over. Yorakiri. Takeda Fuji, some good tactics against the brawler Meisei. Big hit at the tachiai, followed by Takeda Fuji grabbing the side of Meisei's belt, pulling him through. Meisei put the brakes on, stopped at the bales, but Takeda Fuji was directly behind him and gave him a large helping hand, a kuridashi rear push out into the crowd. Look, it's not just a power win from Takeda Fuji there, which is really good to see. I wouldn't count this guy out of the Yusho race. Good battle between Nishikigi and Midori Fuji. Midori Fuji got an inside rear belt grip as Nishikigi can't get the belt, but he locked up Midori's arm, prevented Midori Fuji from going for the Karasakashi by holding his arm. You knew that that's exactly what Midori wanted to change to. Nishikigi kind of leaned on Midori Fuji. Midori Fuji was trying to change his center of gravity. They got to a stalemate as both looked for a bit of dominance. Midori Fuji, look, he tried to change the level and drag Nish a couple of times. Nishikigi used one of the moments to drive Midori Fuji back, got him up and drove him back and over the bales. Yorakiri win for Nishikigi. Pretty good fight and some good fight on both of their behalves. Look, a fairly easy win over Toki Hayate for our other contender, Haku Oho. For a Shitatanage underarm belt throw, and that was day 2. The upset win over Kurozakura, putting a nasty dent on his fender. for his Yokozuna chances. So day 3, life is no easier for Kirishima as he faces the Yokozuna Terunofuji tomorrow night on day 3. Their last meeting, Kirishima couldn't have helped Terunofuji any more if he tried, gave him his arms, and he got Kotanaged. Remember the time before he got absolutely yeeted in January by the Yokozuna, which started his downfall. Onosato, he gets a difficult fight with Takanosho. Will Takanosho have petrol in the tank after 2 big fights? Kodazakura, he has the Ozeki wrecker Tobizaru to face. Hoshoryu, now this is a super dangerous fight for Hoshoryu against Wakataka Kage. I like both fighters, and to be honest, normally I would say I couldn't pick a winner here, but if Hoshoryu fights the way he did tonight and the first night, Wakataka Kage is in deep trouble. But if anyone can stop him, it will be Wakataka Kage. Oho, he faces Waka's brother, Wakamoto Haru. Strong Oho and fairly good form for Wakamoto Haru. That'll be a difficult fight for both of them. Daisho, he faces Shodai. You'd have to give that to Daisho at the moment. Abi versus Atami Fuji. Abi should win that one. Ura versus Gonayama. Look, this could be a Gonayama fight here. He's in relatively good form at the moment. Hirodumi versus Takayasu. Probably a 50-50 that one. Hirodumi's quite motivated. Takayasu's in reasonable form. So that's it for tonight, folks. Join me again after we see day 3 and maybe day 4. Join me again. Hakioi, let's learn sumo.